remaining a step above and dispatching of North Academy quite quickly here on Train. But of course, we're not done yet. Best of 3 elimination on the line. And next up will be Cash. If for any reason, Sponge, who has been suffering from some cold, do you think
freezing.
that this second map might heat things up?
I hope so. I hope I get to take this jacket off because it's really cold in here and the Counter-Strike hasn't done us any favors in terms of getting warm just yet. It's a fun fact. Last time I was here, 2013, was when I bought this jacket.
Really?
I only have had to wear it about 6 times since.
Did you buy it because you were cold?
Yeah, because me and the rest of the lads all came to Sweden in November/December with probably nothing more than a hoodie between us. So it's a quick learning curve for us, and one that North has to quickly discover themselves as well if they want to have any shot in making this competitive. We do have Cage coming up, and that was a map that we did see BiG play earlier in the tournament versus Envious, and that was only yesterday. It does feel like a lifetime ago, but funnily enough, it wasn't. And the only real downfall for them, I suppose, in taking that map was losing those eco rounds. They weren't very proficient against the pistols. Is that something we can see North taking advantage of?
I mean, we have seen them come in with some strategies behind pistol rounds, right? That 4-man stack up over towards Old Bomb.
That's not the way Envious won it, though, was it? They won with their individual brilliance and making it as messy as possible.
Which is what Envy love to do, right? Those players on pistols have always been no easy task.
French and Eco wins. Name a more iconic duo.
French and Surrender.
Damn. Yeah. All right.
Got you there.
Yeah, you did get me there.
But with the knife round done, it is time. Map number 2.
CT again.
Yeah.
Did they choose CT? Let me just quickly scroll through and check this out, because if they picked it, I'm going to be very curious as to the fact that they wanted that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's kick her off.
Let's. It's heavy utility from the BiG side. On the T side, they've got, of course, that double smoke, quadruple flashbang, and a trio of decoys to boot. Cyclone, Kit, double flash, and what is not an A-site retake setup, actually. North Academy going to be having players committed to the bomb site. In fact, Gade, he wants to get closer towards the door, and it opens up straight in his face. Then he's down for the count. Kiev finding that opening kill. Mert's trying to find some kind of a response, but that too swept away. Unfortunately for North, they've already found themselves into a 5 versus 3 after plant, and the smoke's now plumed. Oh. And Tabson, he's not even going to let them find footing near this bomb site. He's convinced them to just stay at bay. With another one. It's all over. 5 players up.
He does it again. Again and again and again. Anyway, that round, basically, I was put off as soon as I saw Gade try and push into Squeaky Door for what appeared to be no apparent reason.
He's ambitious.
I guess. Ambitious. Being ambitious is an attractive quality. I know I'm definitely attracted to it, but in that kind of environment, he's thinking probably way too far outside the box. To get back in there, be a conformist. As we do see these deagles coming out once again from the side of North Academy. They do love a good deagle. They do love the 1Bs, the Juans, the Proxes. Let's see if they can find any action as Acor. He's going to spot one crossing to Sunroom. And it looks like there's 3 players from BiG posturing towards B, trying to clear out that checker section. Molotov's going to really heat things up for Acor as he burns to death.
Oh, that's what we wanted. He can take his jacket off. Right now, it's still BiG just playing. I mean, this is what they did on Train, right? Meticulously working their way around the map, not offering up anything for North Academy to try and skirt their way with.
You've just given me, you've said skirt and jacket in a sentence, and all I can think of is the Cake song. So, a long jacket and a short skirt and a long jacket. But you're right, you bang on. They're fantastic at, mitigating any of the issues early and then from there collapsing as a team. Their mid-round decision-making is on point, and then it's from the theory and the protocol that has been put in place by Gobby and Kakafu, the coach of this team. And this round is no different as the Molotov smokes are all placed perfectly. The MAC-10's going in first, farming up what they need to do. And 4 kills for the MAC-10s. That's a nice little money bonus. Nice little bit of green in the back pocket.
So I feel like a round like that just goes to show that BiG can play in all sorts of different forms, right? We see that initial slow play, just working their way around, trying to find any kind of immediate shutdowns. And then once North Academy have been conditioned to sit in sight, they go stampeding forward and just easily clean things up. I feel like they could have just done that from the get-go. Rush forward, mowed everybody down. But BiG, they like to change up that tempo. They like to ensure their success. And surely they've done it in this round.
I agree with that sentiment. You bang on there, and I think one of the things you need to realize, or not you, the viewer at home, is these North guys are playing extremely timid. Now, this is the chance for them to show, you know, that they're individually capable, or at least as a team that they can play a brand of CS that is somewhat competitive. And right now, we're not seeing that. Right now, they're getting themselves painted with that online brush because they do put up decent-ish results on the internet. And here they're on land, they're on the big stage, they're here at DreamHack Winter 2017. We need to see a little bit more from them, and I want them to play outside the box. I want them to play with more aggression, because playing that team-based Counter-Strike right now is not working in their favor. They need to use that buzzword confidence.
Confidence can be key. So a little bit of cash in the next one, but it's being stripped away. Borup down, executed by Nex. Ambitious here with the deagle. Next, maybe wanting to add a little insult to injury. Gate actually finds Tabson. That's curious enough. Settle down now, Big. Losing men left and right. But Mertz will get his way through as... Well, no, never mind. Throws it away.
All right, now we're talking. This is where we get started. This is where we see if there's any fire in the belly of this North Academy side, if that lion or that little cub can roar in any way. Unfortunately, kicking this one off with a Famis in the hands of Cyclone. It's not really where you want to be. Utility at an all-time low, but the double AWPs spearheaded a two-pronged attack, I suppose. A way to open up rounds exists. Going up against Kiva, who showed us some flashy stuff towards the end of train there, and just a very basic approach once more from BiG, setting up that default, making sure that there's not a whole lot happening. No one's getting away with anything cheeky, no pushes. Everyone's being held accountable from the side of North.
Looked like they wanted to go for that Shroud boost, but maybe got a little bit of uncomfortable there. The shots were raining outwards. Squeaky door opens up, so they know there's certainly presence nearby from BiG. They've yet to really come away from this default. Still the 2-1-2, but now we see Borup starting to double back. Molotovs go inwards. That's going to be on NBK and the backside of Quad. Smokes then following up, and even Forklift getting burnt out. So really not many positions can be occupied by North. BiG making sure that they clear them out before they even peek. And yet now that they get to the bomb site, there is still a defense here, or so there was. Next, lining up two, Tabson finding that headshot to Borup, and sure enough, they fall one by one, leaving only these oppers up. And Mertz still capable, despite the double man disadvantage, to swing this back into a 2 versus 3. But at this point, you know that save is tantalizing. And so they'll take it. They'll cut their losses and they'll move this into the next one. That's a 4-0 start from BiG.
That was a fantastic execute. I think the normal one that you see with the smoke up on Cat, you know, it allows for it to be played around a little bit more. They did this yesterday. They had their good executes. They were able to bring out, I guess, these players against Envious. It's just when it got real messy, when it was those play around the smokes, the pushes, Six are getting a lot done. That's where we saw BiG struggle. But to be able to pull it out here against North Academy with no real issues, trading efficiently, getting onto the bomb site, forcing them in a position where they have to save, this is what we want to see. This is Counter-Strike. This is the 101. And these last two matchups, you really get a good look at the idea of, you know, what a default is meant to be, what getting map territory is, and then how to execute efficiently. Heroic and BiG, very similar in their approaches in terms of being fundamentally sound.
And I think it's one thing when you get to, say, maybe watch a game like BiG versus Envious, where Envious can very much obstruct these setups and definitely fight BiG backwards. But when you then compare and contrast that to this matchup, again, on an exact same map, like if you want to watch two separate VODs, watch yesterday's game where it was incredibly close and incredibly action-packed, and then watch how North Academy are coming in with a completely different approach, not being able so far to stop BiG from going through these motions and playing their game, and ultimately limiting North Academy, again, to this point. This is a 5v4.
Yeah, that's the opening they needed, and they're going to follow it up with a second. And this is better now. They're actually playing around the smokes. They found the opening. They're reacting, but a lot on Borup here in middle, who is going to see the boost happening. He is going to give that information out to his team. And Mertz has rotated in. He is aware a player could have dropped down. Any minute, it's BiG going to take down Mertz and bring one back for BiG.
Straight blasts him off the boxes. Still keeps that bomb near mid, residing in cover. North Academy with the majority of their team still stacked up towards this A site, and that's a perfect opportunity for them to flood the opposite side. In fact, it's just going to be A-Core here, defending with an AWP. Vents will indicate the presence. Can A-Core slow this down? He's already got Borup trying to rotate over, but no flashbangs can help this op go for a peek. That last frag thrown out from Borup. But then they pump the brakes. So BiG still just buying their time. Borup and Acor combined for 2 frags, and there it is. It's gonna get shut down. BiG had their footing. They had an opportunity to just scramble into the B site. And unless Tabson goes massive, with 16 HP and 10 seconds left, this one's for the Danes. First round on the board, 5 deep.
There we go. So finally we see them with the opening, finding next early on, and then Gade following up with one of his own. But that mid-round was basically forced wide open by Godby getting that kill. You were bang on flooding over to that other bomb site. Of course, they're not to know. But Acor actually did a good job with that smoke, holding on to that, being able to delay very Skadoodle-esque in that defense of that B site. And this is where it gets tricky. This is where we see, are they going to get complacent again? Are they going to give away another opening kill? North Academy going to have another aggressive move coming out. Looks like they want to go for the boost in middle.
I would say learning earlier on than on train that they need to play proactively. They need to take these kinds of aggressions, these kinds of ambitious moves. Even Mertz being posted up into Squeaky Door, then followed up by Borup. They're playing across the map, they're playing with a forward stance, and it's already starting to work out yet again. Unless BiG can scramble back with a 3 versus 5. They nearly found a bomb site in the last round, but Borup's just cutting them down one after another. So the only thing that belongs to them is this B main control.
If you're a fan of Danish Counter-Strike, if you're a Dane and you want to see these young fellas do good, this is what you want to see. You want to see them being exactly like you said, proactive, assertive. They're the ones dictating the way that they want to take this game, and that's what you can do on Cage. That's what you can, either the allowances or the freedom that you have, chances to make these things happen. But we still have Tabson alive, we still have Keeve alive, and these guys in that last matchup were getting a lot done. Pop Flash about to come out, pushes Mertz off the line. He knows what's up. He's called the rotation. There are 3 stampeding Danes coming to his rescue as the Molotov swings past his head.
We're still lingering back by truck, so he will certainly be making first contact. Smoke grenade blocks off his teammates, but he then just drops the bomb straight in the open. Keeve left to respond with anything at this point, and he gets nothing for it. That is a 5-man standing at the end of the round for North Academy, a second to the board, and more importantly, a conversion, right? Remember their first win on train, instantly reset, really put BiG into a position where they could go up 7-1, 8-1. That is not the case here. Not yet.
Money in the bin now for BiG. They're going to take an eco. Should be another round on the board for North Academy. I don't expect a lot to be down with 2 P250s, 3 P250s, mind you, and 2 Glocks on Keeve and Legia. So don't be looking to see too much of an upset this round, unless a miracle is going to happen. As I say that, though, the danger here does lie with the fact Mertz is at quad. Sure, Gade is there in assistance, but if Mertz goes down and that AWP gets picked up, we've seen it before. We've seen how effective players can be from that section of the map, taking down players on the retake.
They don't even have a flashbang to work with, really. Sometimes you'll see that, right? A single $200 invested to a single flash. Maybe try to take some mid-control, blind up anybody who could have been pushed forward, flood a portion of the map, but no, they're just going to go dry peeking in.
I would recommend exactly your sentiment. You know, when you have these rounds, a $200 investment for a flash to collapse on a player is always recommended. But Gade, he's doing his best from the side. 2 nice kills, shooting at his teammate for some reason.
Oh! Farewell.
Yeah.
Still, they get over top of the boxes. Mertz contested in the back of quad, so still 2 kills off of these pistols, and hey, there's a third. That's actually an AWP retrieved, or so it looked.
Almost.
Borup denies his grab. And so there we have it. North Academy with another. Costly round, though, considering the buy-up from BiG.
Surprisingly costly. It didn't feel like it needed to be that way. You pointed out perfectly they didn't even have a flash. They just dry peeked, were somehow able to close down a lot of territory, and from there get a couple of kills on that A bomb site. The nerves are obviously a thing for North Academy right now. This is something that's new to them, this big stage, in a way. And they're going up against a team who has done it on the biggest stage. Quick mid here. This is fantastic. Now you can see this adjustment from BiG. They know that they've been dictated to, and this is how you change that, by going for your own mid control, by going for your own aggression. But this vent boost coming in. Cyclone's going to walk into the crosshair of Legia here. Oh, and he's going to come out on top of that battle. But Nex and Godby still have mid control in their pocket. The vent boost again. Acor now this time. He's going to take his swing. He's going to have a little crack. Will he catch Godby with his pants down?
Godby's still aware of this. Frag goes past, and Godby goes in. Taking the head of Acor now. Gade over towards the squeaky halls. He's gonna lose his life. Kiev prying inwards, looking for a second contact, and in fact, there is a man nearby. Kiev completely caught off guard, but Mertz, with a follow-up no-scope, gets that job done. Falls into the bomb site, and there is presence nearby. Mertz with another, and he nearly finds an exit, but Godby takes him. And that's the 2 versus 2 set to unfold here. We've seen North Academy take early fights. Now they're gonna have to come in successful towards the later portion of the round. And having Godby towards the forklift is a nice position to work off of. They're trying to get closer and closer here, using the flashes, trying to dictate the fights. They've got still 2 nades to throw, and no utility on the T side, but they've got Godby trying to lock down this portion of the map. He falls to Borup, and so it's all on Tabson. AWP flicks up, and can he follow? No. It's Borup with a kill, Borup with a clutch, and North Academy to tie things up at 4 rounds apiece.
That almost felt like it was pulling teeth for North Academy there, right? They had the flashy moments, they had Mertz getting those kills, but it just still felt very difficult. Good that they can convert, but they're able to get that AWP and get it back in the hands of Mertz, who's finally showing what he's got. That's a better start this time around for North Academy, who are looking to bounce back after that devastating loss on their map pick on Train. I like the adjustment out of BiG, right? I like the fact that they went for that mid control. That was good. The vent boost coming out, Cyclone finding that first kill was traded off by Godby. They didn't really, they got to an afterplant position and sure, lost a 2v2 scenario. So nothing to really write home about or be too disappointed with. Approach looks like they're going to be heading towards that A bomb site. They have enough utility to do an execute. Just being very cautious right now, very tentative in their approach.
This is not like the 4th separate setup we've seen from North Academy in these gun rounds, right? They got aggressive towards Squeaky Door. They counter boost inside of mid. They go for the vent boost. Now they're going for the shroud boost. Like constantly throwing something new into the equation so that BiG can't really get a full understanding as to what is going on. Mertz prying towards middle now as of course they have no eyes on it. They have to be fully aware that this could have already been lost, and in fact it has. But everybody knows mid control on Cash can be instrumental to late round success. With that bomb retreating from A main, options are open. Highway, not so much. Cyclone trying to contest it, but it's the man towards Squeaky that then sets his eyes off. And Godby pops both players on that bomb site. He continues on with a 3rd kill now. Godby single-handedly dismantling the defense and creating a superb position for BiG. Borup and Acor, they know better. And they're going to save for the next.
Leading by example there, Godby getting it done on those entry frags. That's a big way to open up the round and definitely secure yourself a much-needed victory. Putting a 5th on the board, and they do want these rifles out of the hands of Acor and Borup. They're going to have to hold on. They're going to have to be ready because Tabson and Leggy are about to swing around this corner any second. Tabson there instantly puts him to bed, and Acor, now he knows the hunt is on. Will he be able to hold on to this one? The consolation is they still have a little bit of coin between a few of the boys. Mertz not with a lot of money. Borup's got enough if he wants to maybe drop something across. Gade with not a lot of money. Acor holding on to it is fantastic. He peeks out there at the last minute. Bit of a risk, but they could string together some form of a buy here. They could keep BiG honest. I'll be happy with that one. A bit of a smile there towards the end saying, what up now?
It's unfortunate for Gade that, of course, Godby gets that highway control, right? It's the one position that completely nullifies the boost. So you'd think that if you're going to throw the boost in on that round, you're also going to try to keep mid control. We have seen no real aggressions towards the B site. It seems like this round, that is the play, at least early on. Flashbang convinces Kiev backwards. Borup could follow suit with a little bit of a push. Cyclone side by side. But there's so much time that Kiev is happy to remain patient. He'll stay posted up and would love to find an opening kill.
Good assertiveness, you're bang on. They keep changing their setup, they keep changing their approach on that CT side to make sure that BiG can't get a read. Makes it difficult to dictate and decide what you want to do. And if it means, hey, we're going to rock that default, we're going to do that for the first 50 seconds, we're going to use our utility, we're going to get our map presence, then sure, within that mid-round, that's when the players from North Academy can step up and show their individual prowess, which we've seen a couple of times now. Those were some flashy plays. But it's just more and more difficult when you're looking at a FAMAS. You've only got a Deagle with really not having a lot of utility to work with. And BiG have a lot of the chessboard covered now. They've got mid control. They're not so worried about B. And There's no information at all for North Academy. Zilch, zero, nada, nothing.
They've really struggled with this mid control as of late, and even this position going to be countered by Kiev if they stand up. And in fact, finding Cyclone really gets this one started. They're still committed to the totem pole. Gate really wants a kill from here, and he does take one, spots a man above, and now looking for the third, but Tabson stops it then and there, and it's Mertz to stop it on site if need be. They certainly keep continuing on, and, well, as Deagle finds the first, looking for the next, he'll fall. And that's, of course, BiG now with a 2-point lead, as they're starting to come into their own, Sponge, and I would argue it's all off of mid-control.
Yeah. Mertz is looking a bit frustrated there that he's not hitting shots that maybe he normally would. But this is the thing, when you're dealing with a higher caliber of opponent, they don't make the same level of mistakes. They're going to take you down quicker. But this mid control is being gifted to them. We did see the diversity earlier where they had the mid boost. They took the fight to them. It's one of the weirdest, most highly contested points. And sure, you don't need mid control all the time. Like that's just not the case. The thing is, if you lose mid, you have to take another piece on the chessboard. You need to push towards that B main section, grab some information there. You need to take A main, take a risk, at least do a flash push. Give yourself something to work with. Don't just sit there and be dictated to time and time again. Speaking of dictated to, starting this round off with a bang. 3 quick kills on the side of BiG. Tabson and Kiev chiming in. Gade and Borup will soon follow. Another stack over the smoke with the Deagle. But now they know where both players are, so it shouldn't be too long until they're converged on and wiped out.
And of course, while they're giving up that mid, and we're talking about how they need to try and take a different portion of the map, at first they were very much taking those forward positions. Think of the way that they would go into the squeaky halls, 2 players side by side, whereas now, while losing middle, we're seeing things like a Shroud boost, like an A bomb site boost.
Yeah.
It's a setup, it's something fresh, but it's not really a forward advancement. And even when they go for B main, Kiev with that AWP convinces them to fall back. And again, they take checkers control. It's kind of like half-assed in the sense that they're not really on that forefront. They're still thinking that, of course, they're accomplishing enough, but in reality, mid control is so much more valuable. I feel like they have to really commit to that level above and beyond. If you're going to push an extremity, push it. Continue on. Make sure that you get some footing and not just a false sense of confidence.
Well, it looks like you've gotten the one piece you wanted with a bit more presence in middle. They had 3 members there to begin with. Now they've tapered off and they've moved away, but they went for that mid control, which has left the A bomb site weak. Engage there by himself. He's boosted up. He's going to jump. Is he going to strike? They're coming in. He will find one onto next there.
Oh, damage as well as the smoke plumes. Gade's still keeping his positioning. He's going to start to throw out all the utility he can. He's still got the smoke and the flash to work with. Bomb plant trickling in as the damage is dealt off with the fire. And look at this. Kiev and Legia, they're very low in a 2 versus 4 nonetheless. CT's doing a very good job of maintaining some site control, not really allowing BiG to find an exit, and now it's Kiev trying to bail them out, but Legia tasked to clutch. 3 opponents ahead, and they all peek him at the same time, finding their retake and finding a 5th round.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with playing retake on that A bomb site, right? Especially you have enough utility to get around that. I think their Gade did a fantastic job finding 1 frag and then doing damage for the second. Got a little bit messy. Those Molotovs made the life of BiG very difficult on the bomb site, and in the end, pretty clean round, all things considered. The plant is probably the only thing super detrimental right now if you're thinking about North, because they're still on that cusp. Their economy is still going to get broken if they hit that hard reset right now. And there's so many different things that BiG can do. There's been a lot that's been working for them. So let's see if they have a different approach in this one. Key looks like he wants to get stuck in early over towards B with that AWP. I'm going to go for the deep pick. Just going to go for 1 ready for any aggression. And he's going to make it to Sunroom. He's ready for someone to jump up on that box. Doesn't look like we're going to get that from A-Core. He's just on the side of it there.
Cheeky.
Backing off. Good decision.
Yep. Not going to fully commit to it. Obviously, the moment the smoke fades, that's when Kiev then, goes for this wider peak, right? So had he still lingered on a moment longer, he would be dead to rights. But it's still BiG looking for fights, and it's off of the flash that they try to take it. Mertz in a great position to try and trade A-Core out, so he does get aggressive, really wanting to find that opening, looking for a clash and an opportunity to assert themselves. 5v4 now.
That was fantastic play from North Academy there. That completely negates Godby's little routine. His whole routine is to make sure that they don't know what's behind that smoke. They don't know if Checkers can be in control of the T's, and to be assertive, use your own smoke, use your flash to take that back. A little bit messy, but it paid off in the end and they got that frag. Now they have information. Now they know how they need to stack up. Looks like A-Core is about to find himself in a Bit of a sandwich.
Of course, even if Acor dies here, there's two CTs to come in for trying to take the mid control. He deals a lot of damage there. Substantial play. Nearly finding Nex as well. That would have maintained that Checkers control, but now it's Borup to be contested. He drops bomb, and sure enough, BiG left on the front door of the B site. They try to scamper inwards, and it's just not meant to be. That's North Academy with another, and the lead's mowed down to just one.
Yeah, Tabson probably with a bit of a Junge there. He should have made that frag. That's boy, oh boy, oh boy for those playing at home. I'm not saying anything bad. There's no bad language. Because he should have made that kill. When he swung out of vents there, the player Acor was completely flashed up, and that should have definitely been his. But yeah, this here, the flash, the actual re-aggression to make sure you can maintain that little section of the map of B is very important, because otherwise you're just going to get dictated to. And it looks like BiG want to continue the fight. They've got 2 AKs, 2 CZs, and a P250. If they can get anything done, that mid control hasn't been so much of an issue for North in these last couple of rounds.
That's going to be an issue. B just gets popped. Borup takes him. Acor tries to re-aggress here, and he still gets a kill with it. Pinned into the back of Checkers. Molotov to burn him out, but he's just going to extinguish the threat and lie in wait. He's got the cover of Borup, and unfortunately for the T side, they're down to that single smoke 2 flash.
Tabson's still alive, though. Let's look at the bright side.
Yeah.
Always look on. I've been doing lots of singing today. I'm in a good mood.
That's good.
I guess those vitamin D tablets I've been taking.
All right, the vitamins.
Yeah. The good stuff. I got the hookup. I like this smoke. I'm going to steal this.
It's that top highway.
Yeah, it's a much easier way of doing it. I used to have to get boosted on the wipe on the mid box there, but Cyclone is going to see Tabson, and that's the man I was talking about, the miracle worker. He's going to find the head and give BiG a chance back in this round. But Gator, who's been doing a fantastic job over his A side, is still actually nested at the back of the bomb site.
Borup's trying to give that cover fire. Mertz getting himself back into mid, certainly going to help, and nice headshot. Gade then cleans it up, and North Academy close it up to a tied game. For now, one last round to unfold here. Someone's walking away with the lead.
Competitive, some might say.
Very much so. Very much so.
Still got my jacket on. We'll see if we get a little bit warmer, a little bit hotter. This is the thing right now. BiG, yeah, they're able to get those AKs up, right? They're going to have a pretty good set of weaponry for this final round. Going to be disappointed they weren't able to string a few more together, but North Academy playing well now. They've actually shown some assertiveness, some aggression. They've been proactive. They've mixed things up. We're starting to see a little bit of a roar. And here it is. This is the aggression you were talking about being continued with. He's just seen the hand there. It's going to force them into one of two choices. They either quickly take map control somewhere else, or they retake part of the map that they have lost. But either way, North Academy have backed right off from that B aggression, and GodB once again pushing up highway. We've seen him be effective from this earlier in the half.
Man, Cyclone has nobody to help out his back right now. Just getting into cover, but then overextending. GodB finding the opening here. Mertz finding the response with that op, but then he falls in mid. Follow-up smokes certainly gonna just fast-track this towards the A site. If Borup doesn't stop it, he certainly slows it down. And yet the plant still comes through. It's Gade inside of A main. Acor hitting the timing right on the head here. And the Molotov, that could seriously just kill Legia. But no, he finds Sanctuary. GodB finds another frag, tries to take it down, but it is the 1v1, and it's Legia on the other side. No primary weapon, just the CZ. Gade with a kick can take his time, but he gets fired at. Tagged slightly, and still able to win despite getting hit in the head. 4 HP.
I think everyone had their moments that half for the North Academy, right? We still somehow have Mertz ending up towards the top of the scoreboard, quietly grinding, quietly achieving in that one. But Gade, you know, towards that A bomb site, instrumental with a couple of double frags. Borup across, he was very mobile. He did some nice aggression. Acor as well, even though he only had 6 kills, he had that round towards the B site with the AWP and the other one with the AK. So the frags that they were getting were impact, and they did lead towards getting the number advantage going into the second half. Got to be happy with that.
Yeah, but especially knowing that like Cash is an incredibly even map, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it's never really lopsided. The good old pistol round coming up.
Having a laugh, having a giggle.
Enjoying themselves.
That's the way you want to do it. Never get depressed in Counter-Strike like I was. Avoid that at all costs. Because if it's not fun anymore, what's the point of getting up every day?
Just good point.
Yeah, philosophy with Chad Sponge Birchall. I'll be here all week. No, I won't be. All right, so if we're just going to quickly look, I would say the hero for the guys from BiG that half was probably GobB. He had some really good plays, right? He found a lot of room. He found some nice entry frags. Tabson with his moments as well, but we expect that from Tabson, and that's unfortunate when, you know, we're expecting a guy to put up, you know, 15 to 20 kills every single half. But here we go. It's time for the second half. We've got a bit of utility coming out from North Academy, Borup and Cyclone with smokes and flashbangs between them, and 5 sets of armor for BiG, as it looks like it's going to be a quick play onto this A-bomb site. Tabson with a nice little jump there. Early information is going to come out, and not going to inspire a rotation, but he did see 2 players in A main.
Yeah, so eventually GobB works his way over. Still going to be at a distance and blocked off by this smoke. So can BiG maintain any kind of a map control? Well, they'll stop them on the site. Tabson with 3 frags, just doing what he does. That's 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Full ace from Tabson on the pistol. Put the man's kills in question. And he gives you one of those.
Yeah, well, just jumped from 15 kills to 20 in the space of a round. So that's the star potential this guy has, and we are going to catch it from his POV. Those are 2 nice, quick little crisp kills. Cyclone didn't even know what hit him. His 4th one, and then obviously I can count to 5. Mertz will be the last victim there. And Deagles once more from North Academy. Another map, I guess, where it's very effective, right? You can find jewels from Squeaky Door, A main towards Quad, get up on the boost. You can take that jewel we just saw where Gad got tagged up by the scout, even towards B. Lots of long-range potential. And when they do have the scout and they do have the M4, those are jewels which BiG will be finding themselves taking from time to time. Hits the same guy twice.
Good night.
Yeah. Oh!
Mertz, though.
Bye-bye.
A little bit of a response. Borup's capable in and of himself. And next, he's going to be trying to cower here behind the forklift. He's feeling the heat. And yet he kicks it off still with another headshot. They all start flooding outwards. The damage has been dealt. That's the biggest issue, right? If all 3 of these Ts had 100 HP, then that's one situation. But this is another. Although, A-Core finds it and Mert seals the deal. North Academy make it work. And those are the kinds of rounds you love to see.
And it was the 2 players with the long-range weaponry for BiG going down. We had Legia getting absolutely flattened at truck, and then towards highway from Squeaky Door, Borup sending Tabson a nice little message in a bottle, and from there things got easy. Things got easy for North Academy, but the buyback, the Deagles of their own. It's BiG pick up 4. Next on the Famis. Looks like we got a brawl on our hands.
Yeah, that's the scary situation, right? If you think North's good with Deagles, well, here comes BiG. Just as capable. Although, of course, they weren't playing versus 3 AKs in that most previous round. Mert's going to get boosted up into mid, and there's nobody here from BiG. They've got those 4 players stacked up on A early on, creating a layered defense with Deagles. But eventually, Legia gets curious towards mid, right? They hear this ruckus being made by Mertz. Grenades, fire, and a kill going the way of A-Core. He finds the head of Kyiv. That's the B site now in question. So unfortunately, while Legia wanted to look into mid, now he's got to go and hit up that B bomb site. Can't help but feel like North Academy have kicked this one off with the front foot.
I definitely didn't see this one go into a 3rd, but North Academy are putting up a pretty good argument right now for that potential. Next, gonna cop the MP9 from range to his face. He's gonna go down, and that's the only rifle that the BiG really had to their name. Out of the equation, the A-bomb site open for business, and you may as well hold on to those Deagles, BiG, because ooh, Mertz is coming for you. These North jerseys are pretty nice.
Yep. Fresh stuff.
Yeah. I saw you buy a Fnatic jersey yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Well, you were talking about how you came coming to an event in Sweden, you know.
Yeah. Well, it was the special edition Fnatic Malmo jerseys. So
Okay.
Swedish colors, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I figured it's my first time on Swedish soil. I wanted some memorabilia, and what better than a Fnatic jersey in Swedish colors?
Sure, I'm with you.
Glad to hear it. GobB is with nobody in this one, as he's the last man to fall. Eventually, North Academy getting themselves to the double digits, most notably before BiG can find that amount of rounds. So hell, they are making something of this. And I think what's impressive as well is like, to me, if you had just switched the names at the top of the screen, I wouldn't have been able to tell that was actually North on the offense. They did what BiG were doing at the beginning of their half and going very slowly through that, right? They found a 5v4, they didn't charge forward, they very much calculated their options, and by rotating over towards the A site, they circumvent nearly all of that threat.
Definitely so, and I think, you know, this is another round that's going to be in the bank for them. We did talk about the problems for BiG being against the eco rounds, right? And that has been their problem once again here. We've seen it crop up again, so maybe they need to be fair, the CT side when they lost it, there was some really big shots. I don't expect, even with tabseN getting that opening kill, for this to be too much of a difficult round for North Academy going up against full USPs. And now a salvaged MP9. But shouldn't be any drama, shouldn't be too much excitement going on. Flash will pop out, next through the smoke, he's going to go down. Legia taking a lot of damage. This one will be all she wrote. I think Nex and Legia have been quiet, even though Legia was able to get quite a few frags on that initial pistol round, or at least one, if I believe my memory serves me. Not having that same level of impact as he did on the first map. And to remember, this is BiG's pick.
Yep.
So you would be expecting them to be, I guess, dominating in such fashion as they did on that first map. But this is where we kick it off. This is where it all gets started. The first real gun round of this second half. Can North Academy continue their assertiveness, their aggression? The frags are definitely falling their way. BiG need to stand up now if they want to put a stop to this and finish it in 2.
Early mid control from BiG does net the man inside of Vent. Keeve comes to join him. So if North Academy start to trickle into this B site, which it looks like they will, they could find some serious holds, and it's Keeve with 2 straight away, but Acor doubles down him and of himself. Legia, coming in off of the Vent, falls downward, stays standing. 15 points of health is not much, but it's enough to at least keep this one rolling. Acor with a 3rd. Potential ace on the table now that he's got the head of Nex. And it is just tabseN, but he's on full display, standing out in the open, can't catch the kills, and Mert seals it. That is North Academy with a 12th now, and a convincing round there from Acor.
Pencil this one in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I got Abe's game plan for you already worked out, just off 3 maps. Every single time they have played the first gun round on the T side, they've gone for an explosion play as opposed to a set execute. You see it happen once more from behind that B main smoke. Flash comes in, the attack happens. Sure, the trades come out, but Acor stands up. He delivers. He gives them the much-needed frags, and it looks like they just have this similar attack in every single scenario on this T side. Hey, we'll first gun round, we'll do an explosion / contact play. I'll explain the terms one day. We'll get there for all y'all playing at home. Leading towards B once more. A few pistols upgraded, and information quickly garnered by tabseN, who was pushed out squeaky. It's going to be greeted by Gade, who will do a lot of damage but not make the frag. They must know at this point that the B attack is on, as the Molotovs, the smokes, the flashes, everything rains in Acor. Greeted with a wall of smoke of his own. Had a big round last round. Not going to get anything done this time as Legia from the heavens knocks him down.
They still haven't cleared that bomb site, so they have to know that eventually players are going to start encroaching from behind. Smokes indicate that there is presence on the site. It's for that reason that Mertz is so trained in on this. He needs to clear them out, but at least Gade then watches the backside and nullifies that threat. Next, down for the count, and Bomb looking to boost upwards here through the vents. So they take the exit route straight towards the A site. They then exchange frags back and forth, but they know better than to continue on. They will find themselves the plant. Keeve finds himself an AK.
Yeah, getting caught in transition was relatively costly, and I wouldn't say there's any reason for Keeve to hold on to this. He may as well make this as costly as possible for the North Academy side, and he seems to be aiming for just that. Gonna throw that flash out. Bit of misdirection, but Bo ready and waiting, takes him down. Costly, but 13 rounds on the board now for North Academy. They're in striking distance.
5-point lead. 3 away from a win here on their opponent's map pick. And that, of course, would bring us to Overpass.
This would be upset of the tournament thus far if they're even able to pick up a map here. They've looked extremely competitive throughout this matchup.
Mertz and tabseN going toe-for-toe with the top frag roll here. 23 for Mertz, 22 on tabseN.
Speak of the devil, there he is again. Opening kill on Keeve. Getting caught in the fringe of that smoke, and you don't want to be starting out the 4v5 scenario on the CT side of this map when the Ts look like they have an idea of what they want to do. Checkers control with Acor's utility will be taken into account. But tabseN has made his way over to help GodB. Will he reaggress? Will he go for that play to get information like we spoke about it? The A-bomb site's completely open. The action is at B, but the bomb will be down any second, and you're going to be saving if you're big. Akor's in a position to make that very costly.
Ooh. Nice CT flash then allows for tabseN to clear the corners, and despite that plant coming through, BiG actually still have some footing in this round. They've got Next nearby, continues to creep his way upwards. Legia was giving chase to Mertz, who just barely gets himself back into A main. And the save is tantalizing, that's for damn sure. At this point, they've got to go for it. GodB with an op shot, finding another kill. So North Academy being taken aback 1 by 1. But really, that's the case here with rounds. North Academy getting themselves that much closer, one after another.
Yeah, frags don't matter, mate. It's all about the rounds, and it doesn't matter how you get them. Mertz will go down there with the bomb, but sure, for BiG, this is just the consolation getting kills. It's just stat padding at this point. They really need to put a stop to the bleeding. There's going to be a pause here, I think, being called by the side of BiG. Much needed. I don't really know what can be said. It's not like they've been... Like, the rounds that they've been losing, it hasn't been like they've been having any glaring mistakes. They've just been good decisions, good frags coming out from the guys from North Academy. Maybe they mix it up with some aggression of their own, like we saw North Academy throw at them earlier in the first half. Much need to pause, though. I think they just need to take a deep breath. This kind of run away from them very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I used to have these games, right? And you'd blink and you'd miss it. You'd just go, how is the game over already, right? And you didn't even really get a chance. And this is back in the day before we had tactical timeouts to be used for a game. You know, we all, even before the 2-minute rule. These things are only come into play really within the recent years. BiG are going to need to reinvent themselves on this CT side if they want to get back in the game. The only thing they've had is pistols so far, and from there, traffic has been all north. That's looking like a nice Molotov. Oh. Oh, he's done it a few times. We saw it on train as well with the flashbangs.
Sticky fingers. Just looking to rob back this lead. It's not just going to come in the form of 1 or 2 rounds here. This is a substantial footing from North Academy. Very curious is Kyiv. And again, very patient is Acor just on the other side, still sitting back towards spawn. And that's exactly what this round is chalking up to. It's just patience. Eventually, North Academy are going to have to make their move, and BiG just want to be in the right positions to stop it. They continue to throw out utility. They continue to try and slow it down, but it is Gade with an opening kill and Legia with a trade frag. Support coming down the highway, trying to get here in time as the fire burns one man alive, and GodB stops Gade right there in his tracks. Borup unable to connect the shot, so BiG definitely finding footing. 4 versus 2. And Kyiv on the B site could seal the deal, but Acor denies it. And the Molotov towards Vent, that's going to buy time. Perfect, seeing as the Flames hold back the bomb for at least a moment longer. And despite the man advantage for BiG, it's a health advantage for North Academy. 2 kits, no utility for the retake. Just rifles left over. In fact, no utility at all on either side of the spectrum. No B main control from BiG. They're all 3 going to be trickling in from CT spawn. Could go above. But instead they opt to just stay clumped together. This could allow Cyclone to line them up. He spots all 3. They get 2 apiece. North Academy about to win this round. If Legia loses, 5 points of health. He taps it the first time, and Acor with a pre-fire. Perfectly played from the backside of Checkers. That's overtime secured, Chad. And I have to say, I didn't think we were going to a 3rd map, but all of a sudden, it looks like we are.
I'm bloody surprised. I was probably going to critique Next there for bloodlusting in mid a little bit. He did actually make the frag and convert, but, you know, Kyiv stuck on the bomb site like that. It's very difficult, you know. He could have maybe played to delay as opposed to going for that frag, but he's on his own. He's isolated. No one's near him. And now BiG backs against the wall. They have a mountain to climb, and I didn't think I'd be saying that in this matchup.
I felt like if we were ever going to say it, it was going to happen on train.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pick of the Academy team, and also a place where I thought Mertz was going to find heavier impact on the op. And again, seeing how Legia was playing in the first map and how everybody from BiG was kind of putting in their work, I thought they were just going to remain a step above and beyond. But man, have they ever kind of tapered off.
Definitely cooled off just like the venue. They did find the opening in this one. The double orbs might be the answer. They've got that out on taps, and A bomb site was open for business, but Burrup just said, hey, this is ours now, as they're going to find another one onto Next, who was scrambling around Forklift to get a kill, and Burrup with a second, not third. The third for North, and things have definitely fallen apart.
Sure enough, of course, Cyclone's going to be coming in from behind Legia, so if the T's can stave off this retake, then he will find impact, but BiG starts to turn up the heat, turns up the pace, get themselves closer. Legia trying with the FOMIS to find all these frags. It is just the man towards quad on full HP nearly. And there we have it, North Academy.
He was not happy there. He threw that headset down. That's an upset victory and a half right there for North Academy. Props to the boys showing up after getting blown out of the water on the first map. We got a series on our hands here.
Yeah, we have a third map inbound. An overpass. That to me is very interesting because another map where I think if Mertz is going to continue on with that dynamic op positioning, and maybe if, you know, North Academy want to hit them on multiple fronts like they were on that T side, you know, changing things up, then hell, we might have an actual third map on our hands as well, not just a series.
They're looking distraught in that big booth. They haven't gotten up to move yet. Head and hands in a couple of players, and that's not where you want to see them. They need to mentally reset, mentally bounce back. Sure, it's an upset victory. Sure, it was their map pick. But there's still one map to go.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose the series. You definitely don't want to lose the series. And what can you say?
I can say, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Third map's coming up. It's going to be overpassed, and it's elimination on the line. Are BiG going to go home? We'll find out.